One of the reasons why I have such an aversion to church is I don't like being told what to do. And this is not why I left the church, but it's definitely why I feel like I kind of cringe at the thought of like joining a church. And hear me out. I don't think church is bad. I think it can be a beautiful thing to have that community. So I don't want to take away from that experience for other people that may need it at some point in their journey. However, I've come to the conclusion, and I don't know if in the future I'll change my mind, but I've come to the conclusion that everyone who's on this path to following God, um, I don't think our paths are all gonna look exactly the same. So I kind of have an issue with this cookie cutter image that our lives will look the same and our stories are going to be similar. You go to church, you pray, you have your community, your youth groups, and your activities and your retreats, and you meet your husband, you get married, you have kids, like blah blah blah. Like I just don't know. I rather say that I don't know that everyone's path is going to look the same for their purpose in this world. I used to go to a church where they had an ideal. It's like the pastor would have to be the one to co-sign when God was leading you to do something. Those type of environments I am very against because I just don't I go back, I don't like being told what to do. But I also believe that that restricts people's freedom, and I am very anti restricting freedoms. Don't get me wrong, I believe in like decorum, I believe in like, being appropriate, but I don't believe in like, let's say you want to go to this school and like give a freaking class on I don't know whatever anything. I want to go to this country. I want to move to another state because I feel like I have like a pull to go there. If you're being told by your like leaders like, oh no, that's not God, or like, oh no, if you have someone, especially if you're an adult, if you're like 25 up and you have people telling you no, that's not God, you can't, you shouldn't, blah blah blah, just reconsider, because I know people that unfortunately still succumb to that. And I just don't believe in it because you will stunt your growth as a person, um and possibly even spiritually. So when I think of like going to a church, I think that it's good for encouragement. I think it's good for community. But I feel like there should be a point if you're someone who's truly seeking truth. I feel like there should come a point where you're kind of a little bit more comfortable and mature in your beliefs, where you don't need anyone telling you what you can and can't do or how you should move. And you should not have these leaders on a pedestal, whereas they're the ones to co sign everything you do. And like they're the ideal. Because yes, they should lead by example, but they're still human. They're still humans. And they have their own personal struggles, and they also have their own personal path. So your path may not look like your pastor's path. So my issue is ultimately when everyone starts to copy one another and do what everyone else is doing. And it just literally becomes like, if you don't follow suit, if you don't fit this mold or this ideal, then you're in the wrong. And that ultimately is my issue. with the church, generally speaking. So, if you've had a similar experience, I'd love to hear about it. I'm very curious. And just because I want people to feel comfortable asking questions and being bold about like what they believe, because this is why many people avoid, Christianity altogether. And I'm not on here promoting Christianity specifically, but I think people just see Christianity and they think, oh, these people are just, they're being told what to do and everyone's just following suit. Doesn't seem to be any type of like individuality. And I think it's that. I think it ends up becoming like a club where you join and then you have to like morph into what they tell you to morph into. And this is not to discredit like the principles of the Bible, but it's just to say like that not everyone is called to do and be the same thing. Like not everyone, like I said earlier, not everyone's journey is going to be the same. So yeah, let me know if this has been your experience. I know I saw a video and this girl said that she was in a cult and she was describing all the things that were going on and I was like, was I in a cult? Because it sounded very similar. If I wasn't aware of it, but sometimes it's not blatant. Sometimes it's very subtle, but it's you got to be careful because in churches you're hearing a lot of spiritual information and you're very emotionally charged and vulnerable. So that's all. I just wanted to share my experience. Thank you for listening.